ready. Call your mama, call your papa, call your friends. The festivities are about to begin. Boom. Hello. Sorry. I was typing something in the Discord server, the daily boom over here, and I wasn't aware that the intro was already over. So we should be in here live. I got a little bit of a cough today, so bear with me. Please be patient. I am not 100% healthy today. Feel a little bit under the weather, but the frogs say mobbit. Mama frog say mobbit. Baby frog says mobbit. You see, even they are sick. I don't know if I'll be able to squeak the earth today. Oh, I'm gonna have to do it. I'll have to do it just for the well-being of all of us. The day we don't hear squeaky earth, then there's a problem. And I don't want no problem. I don't want no beef. So we're gonna put this right here. I gotta hook up the leg. Yeah, there's something going on. This is a very tricky situation that I am on. We need to stop squeaky earth in their tracks right there. All right. I need you to watch the stream. I need you to watch stream. I need you to look at the camera. Baby frog, are you seeing the show? No, you can't see. Jose can see, but the baby frog. There you go. Whoa! Shout out to everybody on YouTube land. I am. I got a little bit of a cough, and I'm still smoking the bad cigars. See, sucks. Woo! I say no human activity that there ever was. There's no evidence of there ever was human activity on the moon as seen from the Earth. If you are attempting to see evidence humans walk on the moon from the Earth, from here, from the surface of the Earth, no matter what telescope do you use, no matter how gigantic the telescope you use, I say there's no evidence of human activity on the moon. I have heard that from every single source, that from the surface of the Earth you cannot see any evidence, observable evidence. You cannot see that on the surface of the moon, man. In any of the side, on the landing site mission, in the landing sites. Listen, from the surface of the Earth, from here, the surface of the Earth. I'm not saying from a plane. I'm not saying from space. I'm not saying from an outside of Earth telescope. If you want to play the semantics like, oh, but the atmosphere, 100, you got to go as far as whatever it is. From the surface of the Earth, from where we stand with a telescope on the Earth, you cannot see. There is no observable evidence of human activity on the moon have ever been. You cannot see that. As for today, that doesn't exist. It's been for over 50 years. No matter how big the telescope it is, you cannot see evidence of human activity on the moon. Period. And I stand strong with that. I might be wrong. I can be wrong. I'm probably wrong. So I would like you to come and join and tell me, what can we see from the surface of the Earth as for human activity on the moon. This is Jose JG. Boom! And we are live. And I want to thank you, every single one of you watching this video live, all the 20 of you, and or recorded tomorrow, later today, or a year from now. Hopefully the channel's still up. Thank you very much for your support these past few days, everybody. And I will encourage you to keep supporting. There's a PayPal link pinned in the top of the chat box. I will encourage you to hit me up over there on PayPal, and or there's a link, a super chat link, down on the bottom of the chat box. So please entertain the idea of hitting me with a little bit of some love, PayPal or super chat. But the most important thing is that you should click the like under this video and share the show. Those are the free and easy ways that you can support this channel. We are going to go ahead to the Daily Boom Discord server and join the festivities there. And that's how we do it. We go to YouTube Live. Okay, I'm going to cut the audio for a minute. I'll be right back. Boom! Here we are. Magnificent, excellent, and we have made it. We have made our way back over here today to the boom in the Discord server, Daily Boom. 22 of you watching. Thank you very much. I see Carl Christopherson. Haven't seen you in a bit, man. Good to see you back, man. JP Jr. Nice thumbnail. Appreciate it. Slap. Bitch slap. Martin. What's up, man? John Hansen, Bossman. Woohoo. You're still first. Fred Bailey. Tweet. Last is the new first. Truth nerds. Woohoo. Pronon 1990. Gary Y. Benga. What's up? Mr. Victory's Radio. C4. Tiny Captain. Charlie Welsh. Al K. OLM. Pronon 1990 M2M. We are all in the house. Al que says, just wait until you find out how much human activity can be seen on the Earth from the moon. Hey, that's beautiful. Yeah, I cannot wait to see that. And that's a totally different argument from the one I'm making. Now, today, as for the modern time, there's no evidence, there's nothing that you can see on the surface of the moon from the surface of the Earth. No human activity can be seen over there, man. And it's unfortunate that, because I don't know, I think the technology should have already taken us there on we able to see all these type of goodies. I'm looking for a quick comment before I open the floor, and this is by Parabindu, are you here? Are you there? Can you hear me? I just want to thank him, because yesterday afternoon after the show, I have received like $27 on PayPal, and I want to thank him very much for the support. Parabindu, shout out to you, brother. Thank you for the hookup, brother. Bro Alem, what's up, man?
Oh, hey, yeah, you asked a really simple question, and I loved Al K's answer. It was exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, in fact, he didn't ask a question. He said, just wait till you see how much, you can see from the moon. And you know how much that is?
I don't know.
Not much. There's, in fact, zero evidence of human activity on the Earth from the moon.
Okay. So does that make it analogous, or is not? No, it's not, because right now right now we don't have what you are saying. What you're saying is a thought experiment. It's a prediction what you're making, but it's not reality. What I'm talking about should be already reality. Is a concrete fact, right? Have men been on the moon? Have human activity have happened there? So we can test that part, that the theory. We can test what I'm saying. We cannot test what you're saying. I mean, we cannot test as for today. Maybe you didn't hear that part. As for today, you're talking about what happens in 100 years from now. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about today. You know what I mean? You still want to make it a thing is analogous.
Yeah, the reason why you can't. First of all, you can't. You can't see.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, that's it.
And the reason why you wanted to know the reason why is because it's too far away and too small. That's all.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's no big deal. I'm not saying that this statement, Termin was going crazy. Like, yeah, it doesn't mean because you cannot see, because to say that the vehicles in question are not visible, that doesn't mean that there's no evidence for the moon landing. I'm not talking about the whole moon landing. I'm talking specific about from the surface of the Earth, and this is a golden nugget of education for all of you people watching. For those who think that you can see the flag or the steps or the rover left in there or any gadgets left by humans on the surface of the moon, you cannot see that from the surface of the Earth from any telescope on the surface of the Earth. From the most powerful and strongest telescope, nobody can see this observable evidence of human activity on the moon. Nobody can. Now, if you're talking outside the Earth, that's another story. I'm not touching into that. I'm talking about from the surface of the Earth. That is a fact. There's nothing wrong, nothing controversial about it. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Who said that you could?
Well, there's a video with hundreds of thousands of views, and I have seen others that the title of the video is that's what caught me. I say like, no, that's no. The title of the video is hold on, I'm trying to pause it so we don't get disrupted. Elon Musk. People don't realize it about moon landing. It's a channel with 150,000 views, DB business, and he's talking about how do people know that we went to the moon? How do we know that we went to the moon? And he got Elon Musk. He said like, I talked to Elon Musk, I talked to people, and they say like, yeah, this is what we went to the moon. There's a point that he say, and we with an amateur telescope we can see the whatever was left behind on the moon. We can see what's left on the moon, something around those words. And I said like, that's wrong, and I was wrong. It's only 30,000 people that watched the video. So 30,000 people believe that you can see what's left on the moon from Earth. I'm going to tell you exactly the words. Additionally, the landing sites are visible from Earth using amateur telescopes. Give me your thoughts on that. That's wrong.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Well, maybe by sight they mean like the crater that they landed in. Yeah, I agree. That is poorly worded. And whoever believes that you could see that, yeah.
Exactly. That's I'm trying to educate people because some people might actually see this video and they might try to pay it forward and say like, yeah, I got this video for you. You can even see the. Let me see the wording.
I agree.
Additionally,
I bought.
Hold on. Let me phrase it again. Additionally, the landing sites are visible from Earth using an amateur telescope, and etc. And then he talked about lunar reconnaissance and all this stuff. But that one sentence just killed me when he said you can see the sites. Well, I mean, we can all see this. We can all see this. What do you mean by the sites? We can see the moon.
Yeah.
And the sites is where they say. I mean, there's no evidence for it. So if anybody say I took a shit in behind that house in the yard, and there was a party, there was a wedding, and I went to the in the front of the people in between the pastor, the pastor, and the newlyweds, they were getting married. And I said, like, excuse me for a second. And I stood in the table and I took a shit in front of everybody and I left. You can see the fence over there. That's, that you see those people, that's where I was. There's no evidence of it happening, I can say anything happening anywhere. You can just believe me because I say you can see the site is nonsense. I'll shut up there.
Yeah, they're being very liberal with the term site. I agree. What I think they mean was with an amateur telescope, you can see the Sea of Tranquility, which is like saying, "Oh, I can from the moon, I could see Europe." Well, it's like, yeah, I live. It's a big place. The Sea of Tranquility is a big place.
Yeah, exactly. And anybody can say, I been there in that place and I done something and I drove in there, I took shits in there, I play golf, I drove around, and I did all kinds of shit. Where? Well, grab this telescope. If you see the moon, you see that crater right there? I was there 2 weeks ago. I built a rocket in my house. I went over there.
Yeah.
And you can see that's the site where I was,
Exactly. I've got this little globe in my hand and I point to Europe and you see that's Madrid. That's where I live. Trust me. Yeah, except it's even smaller. The landing site would be even smaller than a city.
Okay, say you can see the sites in pretty good detail with a good telescope, Jose. If you just look with a camera, you won't be able to get that level of detail. But the tracks or equipment, no chance. Exactly, dude. Dude. A site. What do you mean a site? A site that there's this big event took place. They say we're gonna go to a place that never anybody been before. We're gonna bring you, we're gonna stream, we're gonna show you videos, we're gonna show you pictures of we going to that place. And then when we come back, we're gonna tell you all about it. We're gonna give you all the videos. And then I said, like, how do you know you went there? Well, I told you I was going to a place, right? Well, look it through this telescope. Move over here to the bottom a little bit. You see that side, you see that little stain right there? That's where we parked. That's where we went. So what the fuck, man? I mean, it makes no fucking sense. I still don't see that you went there. I still don't see any evidence of you being there besides your word and a bunch of videos that you brought telling me that you were there,
Okay, I know how to find it. I'm giving you the link right now. It's on space.com. There you go.
What is that?
How to find the lunar landing with a telescope.
So what am I going to see there before I click on it?
If you need a telescope with magnification of 50 times or more, and look at the Oceanus Procellarum, ocean of storms, closer to the crater of Copernicus. And then up from there is another smaller crater, and then right to the upper right of there, near a crater called Landsberg.
This is where they were, right?
You can see the landing site. No, you're not going to see any hardware.
Oh, so you're still going by their word. There's still no evidence of you seeing. There's still no evidence of they being there, but because they told you they were there, you're just telling that's the site because they told me that they were there. That's what I'm showing you, the place that they told me they were.
Yeah, you can't. I don't know of any telescope that could zoom in on like scraps of metal.
Anything. There's no evidence of they being there. There's a word. There's a place they told me they been, and I'm gonna show you now the place that they told me they been. There's no evidence from here. I cannot see the evidence that they left behind, but they already told me that they've been there.
Yeah, it's too small. Maybe if we had a really strong telescope pointed right at it, you could see it. Yeah, you probably could.
Yeah, I don't need to see that. I seen those sites. What then? Now I gotta take a leap of faith from I see the site to now everything is real because they told me they've been in a place, and I'm gonna show you the place now. There's no evidence for me being there. There's nothing that you can see that I have been there, but I'm telling you that I've been there.
Oh, sorry. I gave you the instructions on where to find the Apollo 17 landing site. No, Apollo 12. Apollo 12. It's got, this article has Apollo 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, and 17.
Now, can I see? It's observable. What I'm talking about is observable. Now, hold on. Hugo Perez mentioned a mirror. Can I see that mirror? Or can I do other tests related to the mirror? Can I see it, the mirror?
Would you expect to?
Well, I'm talking about observable evidence, and somebody mentioned a mirror.
Would you expect to observe it? Would you expect
Yes.
to be able to see it?
Yes, because that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about observe. What is observable? What is observable to see, right?
Yeah, I think it's too far away and too small.
Exactly. So why a mention of a mirror if I'm not able to observe it? I'm talking about observing
from the mirror, but you can't see the mirror itself.
I can see. Show me that reflection of the mirror. Let's see. Please show me that. Okay. Show me that. I want to see that.
Okay, searching now.
Like seeing, like observing that reflection. Okay, good. Not about you show me a screen like look at these numbers. That means a reflection was made. I want to see the blink, the spark, the reflection, something. Is people afraid to join and talk to me today? I'm not gonna.
It's a scary question.
That's my only point. Yeah, and that's my only point that I got. I'm not denying that. I mean, I'm actually you want to put 1+1, but I'm talking about observable evidence. I mean, I still find a little bit of your feedback in Olim. I'm still finding a little bit of resistance, even from you, Olim, even though you are accepting like, no, it's too small to see. But you are in the same breath saying, but you can see the sides. I mean, it's not, it has nothing to do with observing what, if they have left anything behind. I can see the side doesn't mean that they have been there. I hope you understand that. Some people are going to want to argue that point, and maybe that's the go-to from a lot of people that maybe are afraid to join and talk to me, because they know that there's no observable evidence that anybody have been on the moon as seen from the surface of the Earth. And that is 100% a fact. If you want to put another situation, if you want to talk about sites, if you want to talk about other type of things, it's okay. But my point is 100% correct. Woo!
They did it on Big Bang Theory, didn't they?
The show?
Yeah.
I did not see that.
I know it's you're not the first person to think of, oh, can we bounce a laser off the moon? Right? I know people have done it.
No, I don't. I haven't mentioned that. I haven't mentioned that. I never mentioned that you cannot bounce a laser from the moon. Who say that?
When? Mirror, off of the mirror.
But when did I say that? I'm talking about seeing the mirror. You're talking about bouncing something on the mirror.
Bouncing a laser off of the mirror doesn't count as existing.
I explained to you very clearly. It's about seeing things, about observing and seeing things.
Okay, so bouncing a laser off something doesn't count as seeing. Okay,
I didn't say that.
Well,
I mean, we can.
What you said stands.
Thank you. Yeah, that's it. I appreciate it. It's no big deal. It's not a mystery. It's nothing too controversial to say. It's a fact. You actually can type or Google, because after I watched this clip yesterday, this guy saying you can see the sides of the moon with an amateur. I said, like, yeah, I mean, I understand, but like, can you see anything, human evidence, particles, anything, human residual left behind? You go to a bunch of official people work with telescope and some official sites. They say, no, you cannot see that from the surface of the Earth. From space, yes, you can. From other satellites and telescopes and Hubbles and shit, but not from the surface of the Earth. So that's a fact. I don't know what people argue with it.
Yeah, it's true. You can see the site, but can you see hardware? No, and nor should you expect to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, when they say you can see it with an amateur telescope, that's a bit playing loose with it. I agree.
Yeah. Tiny Captain say, how can I know that there are no stupid people behind that door behind you? Do I have to believe the sign I never saw behind the door? You don't have to believe it, no. But I cannot tell you that there's no stupid people behind the door, but I can tell you there's a sign here, and I can touch it, and I can grab it and pull it out and show it to you. If you don't want to believe what you see in real time through the camera, and I can, as I show this, I can like flick finger or something, you know, in real time. Now it's up to you to choose that there's a sign here that says that.
Your voice sounds real, but you could be CGI.
I could.
You could be an avatar.
Yes, I
you're really
could.
good animation.
Yep. I don't know if there's good enough software and graphic capability to do a real-time human being like me. I mean, I see movies, they look very realistic. Yep.
When they do a deep fake, for example, that takes so much memory that they usually use the cloud.
Larry DeMarsh says there could be stupid people in front of the door. Larry DeMarsh also said, I'll show you what Larry DeMarsh said. I was waiting for that moment when I see him. Let me share my screen. Sean Smith with a $5 super chat. Thank you very much, Sean Smith. I appreciate that, brother. Sean Smith say, how do we know that laser isn't bouncing off the dome? Like, send this to your friends and subscribe, people. Hails to the Shout out to Sean Smith. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Now, I want to share this screen. And Larry DeMarsh, besides Larry DeMarsh saying, there could be stupid people in front of the door, he means me. Larry DeMarsh also say, Jose is lazy, ignorant, and a real a-hole at times, Sadly, his is one channel where knowledgeable and interesting people show up during the day. I usually leave as soon as flat earthers start spouting their bull. Jose thinks his audience enjoy listening to the arguments between normal people and losers like Lemon, so favors them to the detriment of his channel. Do you think there is a detriment of my channel, Larry DeMarsh? Why do you watch this? Why do you even watch this channel if you feel so uncomfortable on watching on? Why are you so uncomfortable on what I'm doing, Larry DeMarsh? That's my question to you. And just because I appreciate you, just as a token of my appreciation, you are taking a 300 seconds timeout. Just out of love, out of appreciation. Thank you very much. Man. One more time, shout out to Sean Smith for the super chat. That was great. Shout out to Al K. Al K is the man. He's gonna bring down, put the foot down and tell me how it goes.
I wouldn't go that far, mate.
What's up, man?
All right. I just wanted to clarify what I was trying to say in the chat, which is, know that you can see this extreme detail. That is bullshit. But I don't have it into hand. But if you look up people who've, taken pictures of the landing sites from Earth, there's some really good astrophotographers out there. And the area that they can see the moon is quite a fairly close cropped in area with really high resolution. Do you know what I mean? So it's not just like this big massive huge patch of the moon like the Sea of Tranquility. It's a bit more detailed than that. You can look at the image and you can identify mountain ranges and gorges or that kind of thing, and look at that image and go, here, that area there, that's the moon landing site for Apollo whatever. But you can't get that kind of detail. You can zoom right in and see all the detail in that area. You get what I mean? It's somewhere in between.
Well, you can't see any hardware. It's not like,
No.
It's like you can count the stars on the flag waving.
No, not hardware, kind of not tracks, none of that shit. What I mean is when you say we can see the landing sites, It's not just like, oh, anybody can look at the moon and see the landing sites technically because they're up there. You know what I mean? Like, there is actually some really highly detailed pictures of the moon that narrow it down a lot closer, but there's obviously a limitation, just how close you can get. There's some really impressive shit out there, though, if you look for it.
Justin Frank said he did the calculations a while back, and he can't remember exactly, but he think with a telescope with around 150-meter diameters, you can see the landers from Earth. But is there's such a thing as a 150-meter diameter telescope, mirror telescope?
No,
doesn't exist yet. Justin Frank said, regardless, it would need a telescope many times larger than the largest ones we got. Yeah, so that's the thing. The thing is that it still doesn't exist as for today.
Actually, in fact, Jose, this is really similar to a misconception that people would say that was propagated in the 80s. You know, you know how these things always start. They always start off with, "Did you know?" And so, "Did you know they could see the Great Wall of China from the moon?" I actually heard that back in the day. It's like, then you think about it. It's like, no, that'd be like seeing a human hair from a mile away. Doesn't, even if it's a long hair, it's too, it's too thin. You wouldn't be able to see it. And even you would have to be in pretty low Earth orbit. Like, I don't think with their naked eye from the ISS, they can't see the Great Wall of China. It's too, but with a yeah, I think.
And actually, it might be easier. I mean, it might be not from the actual just normal camera from the ISS, but zoomed in from the ISS, you could see it. You could see that. From the ISS, a lot of details can be seen, like landscapes and cities, fucking pools and shit, around.
But if you're on, yeah, but if you're naked eye, no, from the ISS.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think you can. Yeah, man. Chike. Yeah, but every time when I mention something like that, it might sound controversial. You might think like, hey, then Jose is putting 1 + 1. Jose is saying because you cannot see evidence of the landers on the moon and evidence of human activity, that means that the moon landings were fake. You can think like that, and I might stand with that, but I'm not saying that today. I'm saying as just a piece of information for people who actually think that they can see landers on the moon and human activity on the moon surface from the surface of the Earth. It is just impossible. That doesn't mean that the moon landing didn't happen. I'm not trying to promote that today. I'm trying to tell you a fact that you cannot see landers from the surface of the Earth on the moon. We don't have the capability today as human beings, technology having get us that far to have that power of optics to see that, Boom.
I don't know. Power of optics, maybe, but we have atmosphere here, so that's a problem.
Based on what you read out, I think it is one of these pieces of information. It's technically accurate, but the way it comes across, it can be really easily misinterpreted to mean that you can see all that stuff,
I totally understand that, and that's why it's kind of could sound controversial. And I say, and then people, if you agree with me, because it's technically correct, then I can, you think I'm gonna jump down your throat like, you see, there's no evidence for the moon landings, no, not really, no, not today. I'm playing the game today. Mr. Victory Radio shared a link of the Wall of China seen from space. Let's see what this is. I'm going to show my camera, and I should be screen sharing right now.
That's impossible, Jose, because space is fake.
Right. All right. China wall less great in views from space. I cannot read a lot because I got my coughing throat is not in good shape. But if I open this image, yeah, it's a tough one to see here. But in this one, This one is easier. Photo by Xiao, Commander NASA ISS officer. But this is zoomed in, right? You see a 400 millimeters lens, 180 millimeter lens. There's different type of lenses. Also the pyramids, from the ISS.
Not 180 meter lens, millimeter lens.
Millimeter, yeah. Yeah, you can see all kinds of details from the ISS, but you need a zoom-in camera. Is this just a raw image? I don't want to read all this. Okay, the image on the right. Central Inner Mongolia, about 200 miles north of Beijing, was taken on November 24, 2004 from the International Space Station. The yellow arrow points to the estimated location where the wall is visible. The red arrows point to the other visible section of the wall of your larger image.
And I still see no evidence of human activity.
Okay, so this is the image. So the wall can be seen somewhere. Yeah, I think the long one right here. Yeah, good times, good times. And this is just raw from the International Space Station. No zoom in on this one, right?
Oh, so the Great Wall will be in there somewhere. Can you find it?
Focal length. The Great Wall of China? Yes, I'll tell
It's going
you
to be in there somewhere, right?
Yes, it is. Wait, hold on, let me go back here. Where is that segment? I don't see this. Oh, okay, I see it. Right here. Look, right here. See
You
it?
found it. Cool.
Yeah, in this area, and also visible down here in this little leg. Which one is it? This down here or this long one? Somewhere around here.
That could be it, yeah. Or it doesn't look like a river. It looks like it's in a valley, though. It could be.
Could be this little one that my
It
finger
could be.
pointing.
It looks like that zigzag looks artificial, doesn't it?
Yeah, this one
That
right
zigzag,
here.
yeah, right there. That zigzag looks like looks man-made. So yeah, but you couldn't see that from the moon, for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely not. Wait. And then down here, somewhere down here. This one, like, look at the arc. This right.
Now can you find Noah's Ark?
Yeah, right here. Where was it? Where was it? Somewhere around here. This is a cool image, man. Very high quality. And you got this magnification thing. Very cool. All right. Good times, good times. That's it, then. That was my skit today about not seeing evidence of human activity on the moon. That's my part. Now it's you guys. What you got?
Yeah, actually, I was wrong. In order to see, let's say the how is it called? The eagle, the thing they left there on the moon, will need a telescope with diameter of about a kilometer.
Noise. What is the biggest telescope on
Or
Earth?
100. Single mirror biggest, I think it's 10.4 meters.
Ooh.
They're building a bigger one now. I don't know what its name.
And the ones up there in space are not as big as that, right?
No.
The James
Webb
Webb
is
telescope's pretty big. They just launched.
6.5 meters.
So we could see the Great Wall of China, but can we see the ice wall? There's an ice wall, they say.
Yeah, you can see the ice wall. It's blue. That's why the sky is blue. The ice wall turns into the dome, right? It's like all connected.
I don't know, man. Gravity. Facts are often controversial. That is true. You agree with that statement? Facts sometimes are controversial. Often, actually.
Shit. Killing myself. Sorry, I just want to let you know I'm kind of busy at the moment making my dinner. No, just being a useless twat.
Ah, it's all good, man.
I'm not either. I promise. I'm gardening. There's a storm coming.
It's good, man. I can spend a few hours here in the download, kind of a quieter show. It's okay. I'll leave it open for anybody that would like to come in and join and talk to us. It's good. I'm not gonna preach to you like other channels do. I'm not gonna play the repetition game, this brainwashing technique, because if you repeat one thing too many times, people's gonna want to start to believe you. People. That's how cults are created, and this herd mentality, which I am not part of that game. When you repeat over and over, same thing. When you have an oath or some kind of a thing, a prayer to say all the time, people memorize it, people repeat it, and that's how some of these brainwashing techniques are used, by repetition.
It's called housekeeping.
Yeah, among others.
Repeat after me. There is no visual evidence of human activity on the moon. I like it. That's well worded. It's actually true.
Yeah.
Visual from the Earth. All these caveats. Yeah.
Yeah. Among other stuff. Bogov, what you got, man? What's up?
Yeah, they should send a bulldozer that will write USA on the moon so everyone can see it.
They should make carve out like crop circles, like a big smiley face, just like yours, Chaiki.
Yeah.
There's the man in the moon. It would take a couple of weeks. Really fast buggy.
No, we can see with good telescopes, not the best, but good telescopes, we can see things that are about a few hundred, let's say half kilometer wide. So it needs to be, the lines needs to be at least 1 kilometer wide. And the feature probably a few kilometers, 100 kilometers across.
Oh, I see a moon wibbly wobbly over here. Showing me a little more and showing me a little less. That's great image, Mr. Victory. And there are more. I see in other bigger quality images of this stuff. I'm gonna share my screen.
Yeah, that looks like amateur photography.
Yeah, there you go. That's how you call it, libration. How is it that called when you see a little more or a little less on the face of the moon?
Yes, that's moon libration.
Yeah. Don't ask me to define a lot of these terms. I heard them, I understand them, I can kind of visualize them when I say them and when I hear them, but if I have to argue in specific points about it, I don't know jack about it.
Yeah, you speed it up, it's wobbling. It's like it used to be spinning faster and the spins, like a top starts to slow down. That's what it looks like.
Will we get a little bit of fun and get raided by the Bevtards today, maybe? By the cult of the Bev evangelist, by the cult of the Bev evangelist in the chat box? They might come in and try to throw all these drama points and the instigation, the being diva snowflakes and all the whatever they do in the chat box. That will give us something fun to do, like time them out, Now that's only in the chat box. They can join the call, the voice call. They'll be treated perfectly fine, just like us. But if they just want to do this drama instigation and snowflakery in the chat box, they will get what they get. What they ask for.
Well, I can also play devil's advocate. I could say this just appears to be a luminary that is wobbling, which doesn't, contradict the fact that it is still just a wobbling luminary.
I could say, you don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Nobody knows what it is.
We'll have to look into that.
I know what it isn't.
Oh, that's the apophatic fallacy. I'm 100% sure what it's not. I've ruled the sphere out, but that's all I've ruled out. Just the sphere. It could be anything but.
I see that one person joined the Discord. If you want roles, let me know, because I don't know exactly who you are, and we might get somebody that just do hit and run, like throw something non-Discord friendly. So send me a DM, or Mr. Victory or any other moderator here will give you roles. Just DM us. Tweetwit got a question for the panel over here. Why didn't they put the ISS further out in space? And she's driving. She can't watch the chat. But why didn't they put the ISS further away from the Earth? That's a decent question. Yeah, I never thought about it.
It's a really good question. There are reasons to have it closer as well.
The only reason I can think of is that they found this is the optimal place to put it.
Because it's constantly falling, and that speed plus the altitude means it's constantly in permanent free fall.
Yeah, it's because we free fall in other orbit, but there's cost to get things to the ISS. If it's higher, the cost will be higher. I don't know.
That's the thing. We keep going back there.
So I was just going to say, I think, what Chaiki said, obviously there would be more cost involved in sending rockets there or whatever, but I think it's also to do with the radiation. Don't quote me on that, but I think, the further out you go, you've got to worry about things like the Van Allen radiation belts and stuff like that. I think there's an issue with safety. It just, you can't just go to any point in orbit. So it's probably at the best place it can be, where they're still pretty safe.
Is it a safer spot, like orbital spot? Like there's not too much traffic in that altitude? Like there's not too many like space garbage, or too many satellites or whatever. So, and it's also more accessible from the Earth. So it's they found a good spot for the falling. The always falling, so the orbit can work smoother. It's easier. It's closer to the Earth, so they can go and come back easier, also with launches and shit like that. I don't know.
I think it's mostly that the same reason the aircraft fly at the levels that they do is for fuel economy.
Oh, shout out Sean G. I haven't seen you in a while, man. Boom, shout out to Sean G.
What up, Jose?
All is good. Good to hear you, man. You all right?
Yep. How you been?
Good. Hanging in here doing my thing.
Seeing the channel's getting bigger. Good.
Yes, sir, indeed. Hey, you just born in December, so I'm doing all right, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not bad. I appreciate it. Overwhelmed in the first few months. Already had like 1,000 subscribers quickly in the first few months because people enjoyed what I did in my other channel. So I'm glad that people found this one, straight up and have this place to hang out.
Yep.
Jose, you're on premium, aren't you?
I'm sorry? What's that?
YouTube, you got premium?
I got the YouTube Premium. I had to get it because it was so fucking annoying with the ads and shit.
I was going to say, while I remember, I'll send you the link to the trailer that I did for that cult thing I was talking about, and that way you'll be able to download it if you've got premium.
Yeah,
so
man.
you can, if you're going to stream it, it should work better. Also.
Yes, sir. Good, cool.
Okay, I'll get that in a minute.
What's up, Chanji, man? What's the word? What you got?
Not much. Just hanging out. Saw you were live, and I was like, I gotta go jump back in there. What are you guys talking about?
Well, so I did my little part early in the morning. I saw a video yesterday, and they were saying, "How do we know that we went to the moon?" And they were saying all these things, these details about it. And in between those details, they were saying, "This is how we know we went to the moon," because with an amateur telescope, you can see the landing sites from with an amateur telescope, you can see the landing sites of the Apollo missions, something around those words. And I go like, I call that bullshit. Now,
yeah, how do you know it's the landing site?
Exactly. So we had this kind of argument the first half an hour. Yeah, I say, hey, I could tell you I've been in this place and I took a shit there and I drove and I made a big mess. I made fires. And so how do I know that you were there? Well, it is like really far away, but grab this telescope and look. You see those mountain ranges and you see that whatever? That's what I was, I mean, like, it makes no fucking sense,
Yeah.
Jose, the amount of third-party evidence available is more than enough to convince you, surely.
Yeah. But my specific point, and I try to reiterate, some people misunderstood that. It's like, yeah, but we got this, we got that. No, I'm talking about observable evidence from the surface of the Earth of us. Can we here on the surface of the Earth seen any evidence of human activity on the moon that happened? Any of the landers, anything whatsoever? And the answer is a solid no. We cannot see it from the surface of the Earth. I'm not saying that you cannot see it from space. I'm not saying I'm denying everything else. I'm saying this specific is a fact. It might sound a little controversial, but it's a fact. Shonji, do you agree or disagree that we cannot see human activity, that anything that happened on the moon from
I absolutely agree. I mean, at the very least, I would ask, could you see if we got one of these observatories to point at the moon, shouldn't we be able to see, for instance, the rover that was left up there?
I thought I could think so, but no, I think people made the calculation. They say you need a hundreds of meters telescope of gigantic to see the details. I say, like, dude, like, really?
Wouldn't one of those observatory ones be able to do that?
No, I don't think so. They're too small to see any details on the moon. I could think they should be able to see a little sprinkle, a little dot of little brightness of a rover. No, I guess you cannot see it, Sean. It's in the sun.
Right. Otherwise, there'd be photos. I couldn't find any.
See, that would be something to me that's kind of because, for instance, if we're able to use like lasers to hit the reflectors that are there, but at some point during the day, or I guess it'd be night. No, would it be day or night? Be our day there. Yeah, so it'd be during night. Wouldn't you be able to like see the reflector reflecting sunlight? Because it would reflect a lot more light.
I say you should.
The moon would.
Yeah. I say you should be able to see that.
Why not?
No, because this reflector reflects the light back to where it came from. So if it reflected anywhere, it's towards the sun.
Okay, so if there would be a point in time where if we were looking at it at a certain time, we would be able to see it then, right?
When the sun behind us?
Yeah. It'd be like our sunset, like just after sunset, the moon, a full moon.
Yeah, it's a small reflector, a few centimeters, less than a meter wide.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's a centimeter wide, but
you can bounce a laser off. You can bounce a laser off the retroreflector, but you can't zoom in on the lunar module Eagle from Earth that I know of. I haven't seen a picture yet.
Well, I know you could do the laser part, and that's more of a coordinates thing than a where we can see it thing. So I get that part. That I don't think the laser aspect and the reflector would correlate with the see something on there. I don't think we would be able to see
observable. Yeah, observing wise is kind of a slightly different point.
Yeah, but I mean, if we're talking what you would need, I would think those observatories should be able to do it, right? They look deep into our solar system.
Yeah, but they're looking at massive objects far away. You want to look at a tiny object far away.
I'm just throwing out options of why. What would it take? Because that'd be something I want to know. What would it take to be able to find the rover on the moon?
Oh, yeah, on the size of the rover.
A lot bigger telescope is kind of what the majority agrees with. It's a huge telescope that doesn't exist on Earth. Haven't been built yet.
Well, we have, but those are radio waves and not visible light.
Yeah, exactly. But for observing a giant with a giant lens that we can see, it doesn't exist.
Yeah. And then you did a really good analogy. He was trying to find the Great Wall of China from space, and it wasn't easy. Imagine trying to find the Great Wall of China from the moon. It ain't going to happen.
Well, at the same time, but we have satellites. And not that I'm saying this is why they should be able to do it, but we do have satellites that can pinpoint a car on a road. And I know it's nowhere near as far, but the technology and the power of these things it's not unheard of. To me, you can look with a telescope. You can look and see craters on the moon, right? So, what's the smallest crater they can find on the moon right now?
Yeah, I don't know. Good question.
I think it's meters. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it's even a kilometer. I think less than a mile big craters can be seen with telescopes from the Earth.
The trouble is, the moon is highly reflective. And you're going to be trying to look for things that are just going to get washed out by the moon's reflection, if you know what I mean.
Well, then you would look like that's a perfect example of why you would do it only on certain times. You may want to wait until like where, the terminator line of the sun is you're at that terminator line. So you're having that shade. Maybe like I'm trying to figure out what would it take to do it as well. Because you're right. You wouldn't do it at the time when it's the brightest and reflecting all that. It's going to wash out, like you said. But there are times where you could wait. There are times where the sun, the moon, and the sun are going to be at a perfect angle where you're able to see these things better. But that's why I'm asking.
The best time to observe craters on the moon is just after like lunar dawn or before lunar sunset when the shadows are long. But just to say the smallest crater that I can resolve with a 14-inch diameter telescope is with the best conditions would be about 1/4 of a mile, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. So that's not bad. Yeah, there you go.
Well, see, the thing is, okay, so I can see why with that, and I'm happy you came in, John, because that you're actually going to help understand it better. And I can ask you these questions. So if you can only see a crater that's 1/4 mile, then that's like saying, okay, well, then we can't say, why can't you see the rover? Because you could easily fit 500 rovers in that space. So, so you're not going to be able to see it that. But I asked earlier, I'm not sure if you heard, could an observatory's telescope do it?
No, I mean I worked it out once that if you pointed Hubble at the moon, and the Hubble telescope, that's a 2.4 meter diameter optic. The smallest thing that it could resolve would be about 70 meters ish. So it's still nowhere near. And even if you had I don't know what the number is for if the biggest optical telescope on Earth at the moment, I think, like something like 10 meters or something like that.
Yeah, 10.
And that's still not big enough either.
So, would it be reasonable to say the only way we'd ever get a picture of the rover on the moon without saying landing on it, we'd basically have to have a satellite orbiting the moon itself?
Yeah, and the only pictures in existence are from lunar orbiters.
From very close, from close to the moon. Yeah, like before or after any of the other, if whether happened or not, Chinese rovers or all of that bullshit, they say, oh yeah, we took pictures or we took videos of the landers, of the evidence of the Americans being there back in the day. But see, that's close to the moon,
But see, I that's one thing that I completely so most of I have my questions about the moon landing.
I did too, yeah. And I'm more in the side of I just don't buy it. At the end of the day, I don't know. In my personal opinion, I don't think it have happened. My opinion is that something have landed on the moon, but not necessarily human activity.
Well, yeah,
I say technology has.
And that's the main thing, because I don't understand the technology behind it and how it worked, blah, blah, blah. But that's why I'm excited for this next adventure to hopefully go there. Because once that happens, then for me, it'd be much easier and much more understandable to be able to understand how they did it then. Without, because I wasn't around then. So, I don't even know how the technology was back then. But the idea that we can't put an object on the moon, is that's where things just seem odd to me. Why wouldn't we be able to do that? And for that, the rovers that are there, China's, whatever, those are all there. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. Why couldn't we just shoot something somewhere, land there and use it?
There is one possibility that I thought about. I actually wondered if it might be possible with a telescope, maybe a bit larger than mine, but certainly with very large optical telescopes on Earth, that at, like I said, the best times to view something is close to lunar sunset or lunar dawn, when the shadows are really long. The landing stage that's still there from the Apollo missions. There are 6 landing stages, which presumably, if they were on flat ground, would cast a long shadow, like maybe several hundred meters long. If you took a photograph at the right time, and it might be possible to image that from Earth, but still, that's not. It's not. You're not actually looking at that. No.
And also, not just the dawn, like closer to the shaded part, but not when the moon is completely full, but half or less.
Yeah,
so you have to time it really well and be like finding a needle in a haystack. Which does not mean it's impossible.
No, he wants the just during sunrise when the shadow is long.
Like right along that Terminator line, right? That's what you're saying?
No, when the descent stage that's still there, it's the main bit that shot off the top of the descent stage when they left the moon. The descent stage is actually still there, the bit with the legs, and that's the biggest object that's been left on the moon.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
That would. If there is,
but wouldn't you have to distinguish that shadow with any other object that's already there of that size?
You would, yeah, but you've got the coordinates of the landing sites are very, very precise. They would be looking in the right place. You can see. You would be able to see large craters. Looking
for a needle in a haystack. That's a bad analogy. You have to time it right. meaning the moon's not completely full and close to the line, and you'd have to have the right coordinates. But
there are actually pictures from orbit of the long shadow cast by the lunar lander already, but not obviously not one. But I think it might be possible, because the thing is about resolution is that lines, continuous lines, even if they're thinner than your resolution, you can actually make them out slightly easier.
Let me ask a question. Alkay, we can do this the show tomorrow. Is tomorrow good? We can entertain a show about cults, because I titled my show "I'm in a cult, I'm not in a cult," kind of as a joke. I think it was yesterday or the day before, but we didn't talk about it a lot. It was kind of a placeholder, but I really want to do a show about cults, cult mentality, the behaviors, what is necessary to be or not be on a cult. What can we consider a cult? And Alkay did a kind of a trailer. He had the idea in his mind a while. So Alkay, if you're gonna be tomorrow, let me know. We can do it tomorrow, man. We'll do an open panel about it.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. That's fine. No
cool.
problem.
Around this time, yeah, roughly around this time too. Very good, very good.
Yeah,
all
should
right,
be fine.
on, yeah. Go ahead, Sean, man. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, no worries.
So there's also the object apparently still orbiting. One of the lunar orbiters is still orbiting the moon.
Well, that would be a lot harder to see, right?
Because it's moving. Moving.
Yeah. Because we know there's a bunch of space debris up there that's pretty large, but to be able to see it would be, seeing the ISS is already a feat in itself.
I think also that trying to see the flash of light from one of these retroreflectors being for the moon to, from the observatory's point of view, for the retroreflector to be exactly the subsolar point, that's needle in the haystack stuff.
That would only happen you'd only have like a split second to see it, right?
Yeah, when it would have to be exactly at the sub.
Yeah.
So, because they really do send the light back exactly to where it came from. It's not kind of.
Yeah, well, that's how the laser, the things they do with it works. They know that exact point. They shoot and pray and and hope they get a return.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they shoot and they probably, because I know I've been to a direct laser site, and when I talked to the guys there, they said like in a night they'll take at least 100 shots, like simultaneously, just be constantly taking shots. It's not like a take a shot and get a reading back and you're done.
Yeah, a very, very small fraction of 1% of the light they send actually comes back.
Yeah. It's, if no one's ever seen one, these things are very large sites. Imagine an 18-wheeler. Well, that's the laser. the trailer part, that's about the size of the setup for the laser. The laser is about the size of a cab of a truck, and the receiver is another container that all it does is just wait. And pretty cool. That picture, I just gotta find them.
You went to the moon. You landed on the moon. You landed on the moon. You landed on the moon. Shout out to Oprah. She's telling us we all landed on the moon. Hell yeah.
And that's another great part. I mean, most of us here have the opportunity that we may see, an opportunity for civilians to orbit the moon or something like that with the way technology is going. And those are the things I'm waiting for and looking forward to. Just acting as if it's impossible is just ridiculous.
Rock almost landed on the moon yesterday.
Who?
Chris Rock.
Yeah, that was quite entertaining.
Yeah, I think if more people are enthusiastic about going back politically, the more money would be pumped in, and the faster we'd go back.
And that brings me to something that I said the other day over at another server. And for that, what you just said is why I consider what NASA does in any aspect of it is they sell space. And it's for those reasons, to make people want to fund it, people want to be interested in it, want to do those things. And I think a lot of people look at that selling point of it and act as if it's fake, and that's there's two different things. But yeah, I do believe NASA sells space to make it more interesting, make people want to do those things. That's why they're talking about people being able to do these things to gain interest and to hopefully get it publicly funded and stuff like that. Those are the goals of these people. And those are the goals of people that want to advance technology. And for most of us, in our 40s and younger, we have the opportunity to do those things. So instead of acting as if they don't exist, it's better to hope to be able to see that they exist. It's a better way of looking at it.
I had a few days ago a bunch of people they got pissed off at me, Sean, because I was saying something like what I say today about you cannot see human activity on the moon from the Earth. But the one time I say that the moon, the upcoming moon landing, human activity on the moon, they need to go to the moon. They need to build a base, and that is mandatory in order to go and explore further away. To send humans further and explore further, they have to build something steady, stable on the moon. It must be human activity. Why the human activity? Because they need to test the technology, the rovers, the outfit, the uniform, the gadgets, everything that is the getaway spot to go further from the moon. And I actually had a lot of people like John Watson here arguing with me like, no, but we can send men to Mars today. I said, dude, it's not. I mean, let's be realistic, down to earth. Is anybody entertaining the idea of sending men to die in a trip to die? Nobody's going to do that. Can you do it? Maybe you can do it, but let's be realistic on what can be done is something, but what will be done? Maybe not in our lifetime, but what will be done in order to send men further away from the moon to explore Mars and other places, they have to have built this on the moon.
They've talked about that before. Yeah. They've said to be able to get further into space and do all these things, to have manned missions to Mars that are feasible, actually be able to return home and all that kind of stuff. They said they needed the moon to be a launching pad for those things. Where they talk about mining asteroids and all that kind of crap.
Yeah, that's the importance of the moon landings. They say so. There's nothing to do on the moon. Well, it's very important if you want to explore further away.
Yeah, I think realistically, what's actually going to happen is that they have to, like you say, go to the moon and establish a base. That's what makes sense. And to use the moon as a staging point, that would be the way to do it. The point, I probably had too many beers as usual, but my point was that if they know that when I was talking to Jose the time before.
Oh, okay.
My point was that if they wanted to, they could go directly to Mars, but it's not the way to do it. It's not, it's not cost effective. It's not safe.
John, that's like saying they can send someone to Jupiter. Yeah, they probably could put someone in there and just shoot them on out, but they're not coming back. You know what I mean? It's not, doesn't make sense.
That's what I mean by it's not realistic, really. If they had the gung ho attitude that they had during Apollo, they might do that. But safety is obviously a concern, and you don't. It's bad for publicity to for astronauts to all fucking die, and they don't want that to happen. And they probably care about human life as well, you would hope. But yeah, they've got to use the moon as a staging point. That's how to do it.
Well, Elon Musk said he wants to be buried on Mars now. So maybe when he feels his time's up, he'll go there.
But at the same time, I mean, why? What is the point of even sending people out there nowadays? I mean, I get why they send rovers out there. It makes more sense. You send a rover to Mars, the rocket or the rover blows up and something happens. It's just a rover. You're not putting a person out. Like, I don't understand why we need to send these people out there to know these places are real and that they do exist and they are in space.
Yeah, no, exactly. I see what they want to do it in a future to actually, just establish their presence and grow over there and build. But the moon is so important that they need to convert what is on the moon, the materials on the moon, which is more similar. It's more less atmosphere, less gravity, and all that shit. They want to make those materials, convert them to all kinds of fuels and oxygens and water and all that kind of shit. They got it. They got experiment outside of Earth to try to make the available materials, which is barely nothing compared to Earth. They want to make it breathable, livable, drinkable, and all that shit. So yeah, I know that they're gonna want to go and establish a big colony and grow over there and just conquer the fucking other planet. But as for right now, nah. The moon. I mean, if they are able to conquer the moon that way, they're able to build on the moon and make the materials that you can live out of the materials in the moon. Then you can attempt to go somewhere else.
Yeah, but then you go to the ethical side of it, Jose. Who then owns the moon? Who then controls what happens on the moon and what happens around the moon? Who launches what off the moon?
Yeah, that's true.
Because that was one of the big aspects of that. During the Cold War and going to the moon was if we put a military base on the moon, we could hit anything we want at any time without warning. So that was a big.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say there needs to be a treaty just like Antarctica.
Yeah.
But even treaties end. The Antarctic treaty is going to end in I think it's another 20 years, and even then there's no talks of renewing the treaty. And if that happens, it's going to be a free for all for fossil fuels.
I think that's a really good point. I mean, the Antarctic Treaty, one of the main reasons why it came into being was because the passage between Antarctica and South America is of great strategic and importance for commerce and trade, and it's the kind of the old saying, when trade stops, war starts, kind of thing, which is kind of where we are.
What are the chances of the re-ratification of the treaty? I mean, that would be kind of a bad sign for the future of exploration, right?
I'd say it's more than likely they will, but now you got to remember different countries are different at different spots in power than they were when the treaty started. There's 1,000 reasons why things could go different, but they probably will. The idea is, though, is if they don't come to an agreement, then that's when all hell breaks loose on Antarctica.
Okay, here's one for you, Jose. Here's another fact. Do you know that there are military in Antarctica?
Of course.
Oh, but that's against the treaty, isn't it?
Only to set up offense and or like a military establishment. They're there just for support. There are no military bases. They just protect the countries that are there, their areas.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a military exercise. It's not military. It's not a military base.
Before we go too far to the other topic, Hapax Lego say, he say the Elon Musk Mars proposal involves no moon base and does involve sending people to Mars with no return plan. Yeah, but is that ever gonna happen? I mean, like, be realistic, bro. It's not what one wants. I want the world. I want to be the god. I want to be everybody to bow at me and give me everything. Is that gonna happen? I mean, be realistic, bro.
By the time that ever even was a thought of actually going on, like sending people with no return, by that time we would already have to have some type of resources there for them to survive and build upon, if that was the plan. Otherwise, I don't see anyone sending people to die. I just don't see that happening.
Yeah. And supposedly there's lots of well, the idea is you can mine helium on the moon. Not to send it back, but for fusion reactors to go further.
But see, they can animate that whole thing. They don't need to send people out there for that.
Nope.
But
it would be a launching pad still. I mean, that's where the rockets would launch from, because you're not moving helium around. So the launch pad would be the moon.
An interesting
They can fuse helium now?
Was that they would send automated systems to Mars to harvest the components of rocket fuel and build up a reservoir of rocket fuel, so that if they did go straight to Mars, they would only need enough fuel for one way. But you'd have to be fucking really sure that the automated systems had actually harvested enough of the gases. I mean, it's hydrogen basically, but yeah.
And you couldn't send 3 people. You have to send a team of people, the large team. To organize everything.
It's like you said, we don't need to see any people are you talking about going to the moon?
Yeah, see, anything. You're right. You're 100% right. We're going to come to a point where astronauts going to a planet is ridiculous. Why? What was the point?
I saw a movie once called The Martian. It was just like one guy. He kicked ass all by himself.
Well, in some situations, I guess, but the realistic ones.
It was Jason Bourne.
Yeah, we don't need to send people to Mars to know what Mars is like, to see what will happen if people go there. I think like 10 people will sign up, 1 will go, and he'll regret it as soon as it launches.
It would be fun to be on a moon, to work on a moon base, just be like, to do like you said, Chaiki, take the big a big snowplow out and carve a big smiley face side of the moon.
Yeah. You know, in the film by David Bowie's son, I think it's called Duncan Bowie or something else. He made a film with Sam, what's his name? And he was a helium harvester on the moon, and as a result of all the bulldozing and stuff on the moon, you could actually see it in the movie. Like if you looked up at the moon, you see like scars on it from all the soil that had been disturbed. It's a brilliant film, by the way.
With he's a good actor, Duncan Jones, but I didn't know he was in it. It's the main character is what's his name? He was in
Sam Rockwell.
Rockwell, thank you.
The only characters are Sam Rockwell, and I think Kevin Spacey does the voice of the sort of HAL type computer.
But what's Duncan Jones in it? He's the director.
He's the director, yeah.
I see that now. Really cool.
Yeah. I thought it was a great movie.
I like Sam Rockwell, but I didn't realize that the director. I didn't make the connection because David Jones is Bowie's original surname. I get that now.
Sam Rockwell being in a movie as a good guy. He has, right? I mean, I don't remember.
He was a good guy in Moon, but he lost his mind, right? He had like a split personality.
Right. He hasn't been totally sane character along a full movie. Right?
You're right. No, kind of Edward Norton.
He said he was like in the Green Mile. He was a bad man.
I like him in the Green Mile. Hell yeah. It's one of my faves, man.
I'm only playing. Yeah. Yeah, he deserved that hose getting turned on him. Yeah.
Yeah, man. How about that? I never seen that movie. The one they did about the moon landing, about Neil Armstrong's story or something. The man on the moon or free man? First man. Yeah. Is it a decent movie?
I thought it was awesome, but I'm heavily into astronomy.
Right.
I'm
For a
probably not the
skeptic,
best.
for a moon landing skeptic like me, it would be very cringe, right? Like damn, like look like propaganda to me.
I don't know, because it focused on Neil Armstrong's family life quite a bit, and just that he by all accounts, I mean, he really wasn't sure. I think when he was asked, do you think that you're going to make it, and he was like, I think it's 50-50, and he was
But
kind
is
of
this?
basic.
And I know it's
Potentially,
based. I guess it's based on real story, but is it facts in the movie? I mean, not documentary type, but like I don't know, like Ray Charles movie that Jamie Foxx did, or the Ali with Will Smith. It's more of a documentary type. Now, because I heard that the one they did about the Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody movie, they made a lot of shit up. You know how they met, their tours and all that shit. They made a lot of shit up. So did they make a lot of shit up for this movie, The First Man, or?
no, I don't think so. But it's there's people. Not that rock stars don't matter, and astronauts do, but I think it was quite important, and that they really kind of made a decent job of it. And there was a bone of contention. Actually, was that I think Neil Armstrong lost a child before he went to the moon, and in the film he takes something that belonged to his child, and he walks away by himself to the little crater. It's called the little crater next to the lunar lander, and has a little private moment. And he tosses his girl's necklace into the crater, and that's, nobody knows if that actually happened or not. But I think that was the only thing that people were like, "Hey, wait, that's Hollywood." But by and large, I thought it was really well done. I thought it was good. But again, I'm biased.
I guess, yeah.
Biased to the point where whenever I rewatch the original Apollo 11 landing, I'm on the edge of my seat. I won't lie. I just think it's awesome.
Stingray, why are you deafened over there, man? We need you over here to draw a diagram on how can we see the moon landers from the Earth? How big of a telescope? I need you to do a diagram.
We need a telescope in 4K.
Yeah, I need that in 4K. And I mean, because you're the expert, you should do it in 4K, and everybody should be able to see it in 4K, even though this is going 720p. But you're the expert. You should be able to make it work, you know. How is this 720 or 1080? Let me see. Oh, 1080 actually, HD. Look at that. Hell yeah. I mean, it's not much to see, but still, that ain't bad. Chunji, I think you had you were either sleepwalking the other day because you pressed a button to go live, and you did 2 live, like 6 seconds each or something like that.
Yeah, so I am working on starting to stream again. Problem is, I still live in a hangar, so my connection is complete crap. But I did realize that if I use the hotspot on my phone, I have a much better signal. So I was just seeing if it worked, and my OBS was set up still. I'm still working on it, but we'll see.
Good.
Yeah.
Any plans or plans of format or what you think you're doing?
I know I want to say it's not going to be much about flat Earth, but I know it'll end up trickling in. But majority of what I'm going to be definitely doing is stuff about like geoengineering and weather modification, stuff like that. Stuff going on and stuff like that.
Right. So you break it down videos, documentaries, reading on papers, and
exactly,
like that. And maybe a guest or two every once in a while.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna do an open panel. It'll be less frequent than I used to, but for the most part, it'll just be a lot of just going over stuff and then have, like I said, having a few guests on maybe. There's actually a couple of guys I've been talking to that where I live here that actually do cloud seeding. So I'm hoping I can get an opportunity to actually sit down and talk about just that with them. That'd be pretty cool.
That's good, man.
Yeah. But yeah, the plans are in the work. I know for sure there'll be at least another 3 months before I can get like good internet where I'm at. But we'll see. We'll see what's going on.
The first test stream, you should just just go live, put your camera on you, and just read the chat and have sips of tea every once in a while. Look through the window. Oh wait, that's what Arwin does every day. Sorry, man.
I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll do like a mock-up of Jose's Jose setup. It'll be fun. What I've been kind of doing, and I've done it a few in my Discord, where I'll just have some people over there. Barney was over there the other day, and we just sit there and bullshit. And I recorded it, and then I may upload it, stuff like that. So I'm kind of getting back into it. Every once in a while, if anyone's part of my server, the bunker, or hears about it, every once in a while you'll see an announcement, and I'll just like throw out there, them talk about this, and people showed up. Barney was there the other day, like I said. It was a fun talk. I hadn't talked to Barney in a little bit, so. But
that's good. I think about a month ago, maybe I did like a purge on my Discord, on my actual server. I did something that it took me out of a bunch of servers, man, because they were inactive, and you're paid for it, Yeah, but whenever you're ready, anytime, whenever you're ready, you're welcome to come in and announce it and share links and stuff, so we are aware of what's going on.
Absolutely, thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
Is that a cat in the cloud? Just asking for a friend. Looks like a cat in a cloud, like a real cat. Anything about UFOs, Chunji, that you have heard? I haven't entertained. I mean, I haven't been too much fanboy on looking up on the UFO things. I know, 1 or 2 years ago, it got kind of hot in the mainstream,
Yeah, UFOs are the real reason humans haven't actually set foot on the moon. They're not allowed. Just kidding. But anyway, back to the movie. You asked the question first. I looked it up for you, Jose. The movie, it's called, what's it called? First Man. Yeah, it's basically a biography of Armstrong's life, and it was filmed. Well, first of all, 87% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's pretty good. And it was filmed without a green screen. Yeah, they used LED displays to recreate and then they used like a quarry in Atlanta for the moon surface.
For those who have seen the movie, is there any part where the main character loses their shit and arguing and yells and maybe drinks, get wasted, or drugs, or none of that shit? Because this guy couldn't be an angel, couldn't be a saint,
No,
and if you don't have any negatives like that, I mean, it's not a good representation of his real life,
No, yeah. I think he was genuinely stone cold. And that's I've met a lot of people like that. When I was a commercial diver, you do get these guys. They're just fucking stone cold. They're completely focused. Nothing phases them. And he was one of them.
Really detailed. They recreated his entire house, his childhood home. So it actually does look pretty good. Good recommendation.
Are UFOs from planet Vulcan? Says Sebulon.
When it comes to UFOs, there's a very big distinction between aliens and a UFO. Are UFOs real? Absolutely. How do I know? Because the military tests aircraft that no one's ever seen all the time. And that's just what it is. Are they aliens? I have no clue.
That UAP thing that sprang up, what was it? What, a year ago? The Pentagon released their little report. In fact, it was like almost exactly a year ago, wasn't it?
Yeah. And their report, their results of it were most likely most UFOs sightings ever seen are usually advanced technology by other countries, which to me was an outing. They outed themselves because, if China and these other countries are doing it, the America's doing it. And in my opinion, most likely that's what it is. If you look into like Skunk Works, and you look at the aircraft that they've been talking about building and trying to design for decades, you realize real quick that anything they're working on is to be beyond what we know as possible. So every time we see these things and they're doing things that our normal aircraft can't do, that to me puts it in the guides of the same thing they're trying to build.
Shout out to Mr. Victory. If I see an object, he put a marshmallow falling into a cup of tea, but I see a butt crack. The question that comes to mind is, can you fuck it? It's kind of, it's kind of human behavior. The most logic question, can you fuck it? I don't know, man. That was really off.
I think you might get burned.
Have you heard the astronauts used to smuggle cheesesteak sandwiches into space? Uh-oh. Shout out to Brad Wagner. He said that.
Space smuggling. It's nothing new.
What is UAP? Universally Awesome Puerto Ricans? UAP.
Unidentified.
You nailed it.
Phenomenon. It's just it's UFO. Unidentified phenomenon.
It's how people who don't want to be put in the UFO crowd, how they say it.
Yeah, a bad name.
Oh, okay.
But you can't have a department in the Pentagon with the acronym UFO.
Yeah.
But I found that I found that really very interesting, even just from I've always been a bit of an enthusiast in like fighter planes and aeronautical technology and stuff, and the radar returns from the USS Nimitz group that was sort of made famous the last few years. It's pretty fucking incredible what these craft appeared to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like descending from 80,000 feet to sea level in 1/4 of a second, for instance.
Yeah, but until we know exactly the inner workings of how these DARPA and Skunk Works, all these agencies, that how they work and what they actually are working on, you'll always have to contribute to that first. Until the only time it will ever be aliens is if we pull an alien out of one of them. In my opinion, at least.
I mean, my opinion is that anything, like literally anything, is more likely than an alien spacecraft. And who knows? Who knows what Skunk Works have got flying around?
Yeah, and like I said, we know that it's more advanced because that's what they do. They work on more advanced technology than is currently known. So anything we see that doesn't do what we know can be done is credit to them, I guess, in my opinion. I guess like I said, I'd have to see something. Even if they saw something in space, I still have questions on whether or not it was alien life.
Right, like you said at the beginning, it's those are two different questions. Yeah, you advanced craft and advanced entities, two completely different subjects. Absolutely not necessarily exclusive. So, for example, it was brought up the other day. Somebody mentioned the SR-71 Blackbird. Now that's like amazing and hasn't really been surpassed since. That was actually leaked accidentally by Johnson in 1964. Boom. Imagine.
Yeah.
Supposedly accidentally. He mentioned it accidentally in 64, supposedly.
When the stealth fighter, when they developed the stealth fighter, they used to fly it out of Groom Lake before they wanted the public to see it. There was a time when they test flew beyond the Groom Lake, and literally they got 1,500 calls for UFOs that night. Everywhere as far as Las Vegas from there. And it's just accredited, if we don't know what it is and we haven't seen it, that's the first thing that pops into mind. But you got to credit to something more realistic.
Unidentified flying objects would be an exactly accurate term.
Well,
exactly.
We can identify some of them. I've seen some videos that are clearly some humongous form of TR-3B.
But you know what they did? You know what they did once? There was an F-117 stealth fighter crashed. I think it was one of the national parks. It might have been Sequoia National Park in the States. And
beautiful
so
place.
this thing, and it lost it's beautiful. I've been there.
Me too.
So this thing crashed, and the pilot was killed. And it started a forest fire, and the fucking CIA and the military descended on the place, and they wouldn't let firefighters near it. And they removed every single piece of wreckage of the F-117 and brought in another wrecked aircraft and put it on the fucking the crash site. That's what they did. It's in public record. So, it's just the sort of depths of secrecy are quite astounding.
And that's kind of going back. That's kind of what makes me question when people talk about why we can't go into space or go here, go there. When you look at the advance in technology, the only question I have is why can't we?
Shout out to From Jesse. That's the video I'm playing in the background here. From Jesse took this video using an NVD film through his NVD. It's some kind of a triangle UFO. Blue Marble Science made a good point earlier in the chat a few minutes ago. Because I think that flat earthers break the laws of physics sometimes. Because why don't the brains rush into the flat earther's head to fill the empty space? That goes against the laws of physics, because if there's an empty space and there's a substance that should rush in because of the laws of thermodynamics and shit like that,
Yes, the second law of thermodynamics here. Absolutely.
I think you're forgetting one important thing. They have to have a brain to go into the space to fill it.
The Stingray, I was requesting your assistance earlier because we need a diagram in 4K on why can't we see the lunar landers from the surface of the Earth,
We resolved that it has to be in 4K, otherwise it won't be possible to see.
Yeah, well, no, it'd have to be. Well, it's all about what's the What's the angular size of it, and do we have an optic that can actually be narrow enough to see that? And I'm pretty sure the answer is no.
Well, the bigger problem would be that no one would be able to see it in 4K.
No.
I want to know how long it took him to get that camera that out of focus. There's got to be a talent there. Nothing on that picture is sharp whatsoever.
Yeah. And to me, when I see an out of focus picture, it's almost hard. It's harder to get it out of focus than in focus. But I do fuck around quite a lot.
I also want to know how Jose, how you got the bubbles to go from the bottom of the screen into the video. That's just class. So I'm watching the live stream. And the bubble background looks like they're going into the video.
Oh, right. I know. Look at that. I'm switching to green. Yeah, switching to the green color.
If by bubbles you mean floating embers, is that
right? There you go. Bubbles.
I don't know what the background is.
I'm going to go lick those bubbles. Ow, ow.
Fiery bubbles.
Is this your California holiday photos?
What is this of? UFO? What the hell?
Yeah, I'm trying to stay on topic, even if I'm being sarcastic with it.
This is, I mean, I don't have any audio. I'm sorry. You guys are going to have to see it. I'll show the link. You see it, one time. He said debunking the absurd Navy Pentagon UFO footage. It's a bokeh. Bokeh, I guess.
Bokeh? Bokeh? Does he mean broken?
Only from Jesse knows. But I'm just playing this because it looks like an UFO. But I mean, I don't know.
Actually, here you go. So bokeh is actually a Japanese word, and it relates to out of focus.
Oh, like flare for stars, like flare of wiggly woggly stars.
Well, yeah, well, kind of.
I think they took the song "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star" a bit too literally.
It's a nice effect. If you've got the foreground in focus and you manage to get a depth of field so that the stars are out of focus, you get these really big stars. I've seen lots of nice pictures like that.
Yeah, when I first started taking pictures, I took pictures of stars, and that's what I got.
What camera? What camera is this? Because the out of focus areas, or the bokeh, the shapes that are formed by there, you're getting little triangles, and what you're actually seeing is the shape of the aperture caused by the blades.
Yeah.
But that only looks like there's 3 fucking blades on this camera. So I'm wondering, what the hell lens is this, and what we're looking at?
Oh, is that?
Yeah. What is an NVD?
Is that night?
That's
the night vision thing.
Yeah.
An NVD he used.
Okay.
So I've seen that. Is that one of these UAP videos that you're looking at? I'm not looking.
This is what he used.
Night owl. Euphomatic.
Yeah, the blades of the night. If it's the video that I think it is, the blades of it's got 3 blades basically.
I mean, that's what it looks like from the bokeh, and I thought, well, there's no camera that's got that. I've seen shitty 6 or 9, but never 3. But yeah, night vision goggles. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Thing in the camera. That's what's making the shape.
Yep. He got this aperture. He can change it inside. Open it. Give it more or less. It's cool.
But it's pretty categorical. That's what you're seeing. That one really.
Yeah. And that link is in Discord. I'll throw the link on YouTube so people can go check it out on your end and listen to it and give him some feedback, because it's a cool looking video. He could trick anybody. Like, look, UFOs all over the place, you know.
There's Chris Rock getting slapped again. Fucking hell. Have you spoken about this already, or do you want to speak about it or not? Or
no, it's just kind of we are a little bit all over the place today. Just trying to keep it, keep it fluid, dynamic, not too much silence in between. So it's okay, man. Whatever is in your mind, bring it on. As long as it's kind of inclusive to the audience, you know.
Well, I don't know. I know maybe I shouldn't be so informed. I don't really keep up with what celebrities do, but I've got to say, I was like, holy shit! Will Smith just smacked Chris Rock across the face on live television. And I don't know if you follow Aussie Man. He's got a YouTube channel, and he did a review of it, and he was kind of like, okay, like Will Smith's gonna get fucking.
Why would I see a review when I can see the original?
Well, it's just quite funny. The Aussie Man, he's just quite a funny kind of.
So yeah, it's just to see the reaction of somebody, not from what I am, from somebody, from a foreign person, just to see a reaction of somebody else, which is interesting. I like seeing people's reaction, but I saw that I didn't have to see it from anybody, because when I saw the headline, Will Smith slapped somebody, me reacting to, and I said like, all right, so let me go and find the original video then. And I found the original with audio and everything. And then if I want to see reactions, I'll see it. But from the source, I got to see the original source. I'm going to see nobody interpreting what happened in their way. I got to see what happened in the raw.
I think that you've got to remember that's the edited video that you saw, Jose, because obviously it wasn't anything to do with his wife. He was just flat smacking him.
Well, it's what people saw in live television on the Oscars. You know what I saw.
But I think the reason why when I searched for Will Smith, Chris Rock, it came up on my search because I'm subscribed to the Aussie Man, because he's quite funny. He's very funny, I think. So it was his take on what happened, and but yeah, it's a bit like there's one law for everyone else, and there's another law for celebrities. I mean, one thing that the Aussie Man pointed out, like, all right, okay, security are gonna grab him and escort him from the building. Oh no, they're not. You can't do that,
If he's Will Smith, yes, he can.
If someone tells a joke and you walk up on stage and slap him across the face and go and sit back down, whoever he is, and it wasn't right to tell the joke. I think it was in bad taste. Will Smith's wife is she's got a buzz cut because she's for a medical condition. She's losing her hair, so she's decided to shave it all off. Poking fun at that.
Leave his wife's name out of your fucking mouth. Come on.
Yeah. And it also wasn't right that Will Smith slapped him either. I mean,
he's Will Smith. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
It was. I don't think I've seen something for quite some time where I've suffered so much, like, secondary embarrassment. Where you feel embarrassed just watching something that doesn't involve you. I just thought, what a shit show! Fucking hell. But I've got to say, I think the person that came out of it the best was Chris Rock. He obviously had people in his earpiece screaming at him, don't fucking say anything else. And
there's nothing to worry about because at the end of the day, Will Smith won the Best Actor.
Yep.
You know,
So
he was the champion at the end.
Part of the case is being roasted. I mean, that's part of the territory as public figures and stuff. I just don't. I mean, was there like beef between them or something like that? I mean, to publicly.
There was a little bit. Yeah, there was a little bit of a beef in a previous event. A while ago. Yeah.
I've got to weigh in on this because I have only seen it on the news, and just like John, I don't follow celebrity bullshit. But I do know that there's a thing, or there used to be a thing on YouTube, and obviously got shut down. And never actually watched one, but it was bomb fights where two homeless people fight each other, and this just looks like the extreme opposite end of that, where millionaires go at it. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't as exciting.
Yeah, it wasn't. He got it. What it was Will Smith wasn't the one offended. His wife was offended, and when Will saw that, he reacted. I don't put that. I'm sorry. I can only say maybe I'd probably do the same fucking thing. The only difference was if it was somebody else there, you would have seen the security. You would have seen he would not have won that night. He would have been accepting that award from outside. But he's Will Smith.
I'm pretty sure. Wait a minute. I'm going to make a prediction here. If some white guy would have got up and walked up and smacked and smacked
security would have tackled his ass so quick.
Oh yeah. Oh, his career would have been over as well.
Over completely.
You know what I would have liked to see is if it wasn't Chris Rock, it was The Rock.
Oh no, it wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have happened at all.
What would have happened then? But fuck. I mean, you know what? Denzel Washington. I think Will Smith mentioned this in his acceptance speech when he was given the Oscar. He said that Denzel Washington had come up to him after he slapped Chris Rock and said to him, "When you get to your highest point, that's really dangerous because that's when the devil comes for you." Like, as in, keep your shit together.
Yeah, that's what I don't. I mean, the analysis and the reading between the lines, all that shit. I don't care about none of that shit. I care about. I saw a slap. I slow-mo. I was like, yeah. He smacked him, and then he went swearing. He was pissed off. I said, oh yeah, that's the event right there. Yeah.
You should gotta make that your thumbnail, Jose. That's amazing. That's right there.
That's the
perfect.
thumbnail. Yeah, that's the thumbnail today.
Is it? All right, perfect.
keeping it trending, man.
I think what Denzel Washington meant, if you know, I don't believe in the devil. I don't think the devil exists. But like, you know, when you're really famous and you've really made it, that's when you can start to lose your shit. I think basically.
No, see, you took it like that, but that what Denzel Washington said is actually something anybody could take from it. You don't have to be a millionaire to feel that same, to have that make sense. Yeah. Anytime you're at your highest point in any situation is when things are going to test you the most. That's what he meant. You don't have to be a millionaire. Yeah. It was just a conversation between millionaires.
I didn't mention money. I mean, like,
yeah, you did. You said millionaires.
It could be my highest point, which is never gonna involve Oscars and supermodel girlfriends or wives or whatever. But when you get tested the most is when you think you've reached the top. But really quite wise words, I thought.
He's Denzel Washington. Watch, if Denzel Washington wanted to be president, he'd be president.
Well, people go to war over less. I mean, that public shaming ritual, I mean, he's a comedian, for Christ's sakes. I mean, where's he going to get his material? It just seems like this double standard when, you know, rich people say, make fun of the peasants or somebody else other than me. I mean, I'm sorry. That's what comedians do. I mean, it wasn't malicious. I mean,
it was
about his wife's hair.
It was malicious. It was malicious because it at this point in time is when the downside of her illness, alopecia, started, and it was very fresh in their family's brain right now. It's not like it's been years, she got over it, or blah blah blah. Like, we're talking within the past couple months and you don't do that. That's in severe poor taste.
I've got to say, actually, just to qualify my position, if it was me, I wouldn't have used an open hand.
I think that's the smartest thing Will Smith did in that whole situation.
Well, I mean, but bear in mind, I don't have I'm not. I've got to break it to you guys. I'm not a very successful Hollywood icon.
You don't say.
If I was.
Wait. Were you a commercial diver?
Yes, I've ever mentioned that before.
No, you're guessing.
Yeah,
you just sound like one. We're in awe.
Yes, I'm sure you are. But if I was in Will Smith's position, I think I would have probably done exactly the same thing. I don't think it was right, but I probably would have done the same.
Yeah, I think most people would say they would have done the same thing. Yeah, like I see what Lemon put in the chat. Yeah, the classier thing for him to do were to just let it go, not laugh, and then say something later on. But like I said, that shit was fresh in his brain. If I had a family member that was going through something and it was like that, I think my reaction would have been the exact same. It's not like it was just a bad joke in poor taste. It was salt on a fresh wound.
I think there was no winners there. I think the best choice is what he should have done is like a supreme form of heckling and incite a booing.
No. It's Chris Rock's fault. Chris Rock should not have made that joke. That joke was not written for him. He said that.
I didn't even hear the joke. I don't even
know. They were talking about he was crowd surfing. He saw her haircut, and said, "Jada, blah blah blah. I can't wait for G.I. Jane 2 to come out." It was a direct cut at her haircut. It was too fresh, dude. That was he double poured salt in the wound, and he should not have done it.
So I think in the Golden Globes, Ricky Gervais was extremely close to the bone. Over several years, but he's. I don't know the difference. There's a difference between Chris Rock and Ricky Gervais. And I think, that Ricky Gervais sort of knows what he can get away with. And he was very, very close to the line, but not over the line. And I think...
on the same note, if security and everyone had rushed Will Smith, tackled him, kicked him out, I don't think it would have been an uproar about that. I don't think people would have been upset about it.
What's so funny about the joke anyway? Because it was a very unsuccessful movie for Demi Moore, or
it was a cut on her haircut.
I know, but why is that? Why G.I. Jane? Why is that because funny? Lots of girls have short hair.
Because she has hair.
She has a medical condition. She just got a bad medical condition.
She has alopecia. She had to cut her hair, and she recently cut her hair. And he had made a cut as if, because she had a G.I. Jane, quote unquote, G.I. Jane haircut. Yeah. He made a stab at it.
I know, but it's disease shaming. It's not funny.
It's not funny. Yeah. No, it wasn't funny. That's what made Will Smith do what he wanted, what he did. Like I said, there are classy ways to go about it, but that's a real slippery slope right there. Because like I said, that's a wound that is very fresh, and they just dump salt in it. It wasn't a situation of just a bad joke.
Yeah, they can't control it. It's like making fun of flat earthers because they were born dumb. It's just not fair.
Well, I mean, it's a poor taste joke, and now that I have more context for that, it seems more like more than just a smack. There's a brutal shaming smack on public television. But a press release would have been better. I mean, these are professional, adult, grown men. You don't even see kids do stuff like this. I mean...
but they are performers.
Terrible.
No, you're right, Liv. That would have been the better option for Will Smith. The problem is I think... And I don't even think Will Smith would have done it. Like, if Jada wasn't there, would he have done it? I don't think he would have. I think it was her reaction that got him so upset, not the joke.
Originally, he thought it was funny. He was laughing.
Yeah, like it was her reaction to it that got him pissed him off. That pissed him off. It crossed the line to her, not him. He was just defending her.
I'd like to think if it was me and I was, in control, that I would have taken her hands and just walked out. But I might have actually just done the same thing, to be honest. I think he's been having a fucking shit. I mean, they've been having a fucking shit time, as well, just since I've been reading about it. But anyway, But yeah, it's such a surprising thing to happen at the Oscars. Makes them interesting for one thing.
Certainly other ways it could have been handled.
Yeah.
Ways about that. But sometimes, once in a while, somebody steps across the line a little too far. And when you fuck with a bull, once in a while, you're going to get the horns.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. But it kind of pisses all over.
I blame him. If somebody goes after my wife, you goddamn right, I'll come after you.
I was going to say that was the line that was crossed as well. I think a few were.
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, it's
Dude, what kind of man is going to just sit there and take that shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if, like Sean was just saying, if it's this is a
John.
Sorry, hello?
John, is that you? Is that you on screen right there?
And
asking for a friend. Asking for a friend.
And I can see the moon.
I put it in the Discord on Sensor, and I'm sharing my screen too. Just asking, like, what is what's going on over here?
Oh yeah, that is me. That's I can officially tell you that's not actually the end of my.
That's skirt.
Wait, Jose. Jose, do not listen to him. That is not him. He does have that same skirt, but he's clean shaved.
Okay. Oh, okay.
It is a perpendicle. A perpendicle is perpendicular.
What the hell was that? But Big Blue, like you say, men are going to defend their ladies, and that's a good thing. But the public, aspect of it is just, it's so rough. I mean, privately, maybe, take care of that stuff, but I don't know. The public nature of it is just so distasteful.
Yeah.
Hey, Lemon, but that's you. That's your opinion. That's how you might react. That's not how I would react.
Press release afterward, to save everybody's face and careers and stuff like that. I mean, this is so embarrassing.
Oh, he won an Oscar. He won the best actor at the end of the day.
A joke and bad taste that's how you solve it. But like I said, that was a fresh wound, and anybody in that situation probably would have done the same thing.
Yeah, Will Smith went up a notch.
You make up, get fun of a medical condition. Come on now.
Yeah.
I mean, he acted. He was pissed off that he gave me the goosebumps the second time that I watched. I said, like, holy shit. When he said, don't, keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth. And I was like, whoa, I got the goosebumps. He was double down that, he's the best actor right there.
He was fucking furious. He was a fucking raging bull. He was
how dumb are you to stand in front of a bull charging?
I don't think
he was going to give him a kiss,
honestly,
or a Glasgow kiss.
I don't think Chris Rock could have ever imagined that Will Smith was going to make contact with his hand when he walked up to him.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. I think he did react, like, for a millisecond. He turned his head for a millisecond, but he got the.
He's never been in a bull ring.
I got a super chat at $2. Look, this don't come too often. So big thank you to Real Cygnus. Thank you for the $2 super chat. I appreciate that. And the message is Jose is the best host and the best YouTuber in the whole wide world. Thank you, Real Cygnus. I appreciate the $2 super chat, and thank you for your kind words, saying that I am the best. I am a god, in other words. Thank you.
No, you missed the last line after Sean.
Oh, okay, yeah, those are very fun, very thin, very small letters. Okay, I'll say that. Forgot to read the small print.
Yeah. Anyway. But yeah,
good times. Yeah.
But it is for once. I am actually quite interested in celebrity fucking news. That never happens. But
well, Igor in the chat, he said that we shouldn't elect people that don't have God in their hearts. So anybody that don't have God in their hearts, they shouldn't be successful in life and win prizes and shit like that. What do you guys think about that? Isn't that something?
Is that a medical condition?
Yeah, I guess God in their hearts. Yeah, there's an extra beat there.
That sounds like some kind of complication. I mean, you wouldn't want like something in your heart apart from like blood and the muscles and stuff. You know. No, I don't like the sound of that.
Jamongus is asking. Wait, Jamongus is asking that which pothead is in the call today, Mr. Grimm or Shanji? Oh wait, yeah, Mr. Grimm not here. Shanji, how about that, man? Shots fired.
Oh, Sean, can you not tell us about the electric universe?
Well, I wasn't. I was talking to my girl. I wasn't listening to you guys.
Jomongus in the chat is asking which pothead is in the show today, because he's not seeing Mr. Green here.
I have not smoked today, so ha on all of you.
Oh, Igor is correcting.
That's what high on life today.
Igor is correcting. He said that's what Will said, that people that nobody without God in their hearts should win. That's what Will said. That's Igor clarifying. It's not his words, it's Will's.
Yeah. You know what Chris Rock should have said after he got slapped in the face was when he came back on, pretended that he was on the phone to his mom. Said, "Yeah, Mom, I'm okay. I'm okay. It's all right." And then said, "Yeah, I got in one little fight and my mum got scared. Now she wants me to go and live with my aunt and uncle in Bel Air."
I now see why he didn't say that.
Yeah, I think that might have been a full scale brawl actually if he had said that, to be honest. But yeah, I'm just a bit surprised that Will Smith was allowed to just go back and sit down next to his wife. Anyway, oh fuck, we've probably talked about this for long enough, have we not?
Yeah, we got to go back to that 4K screen. Oh, Stingray went on deafen. Damn it. Shout out to 60 people watching. Hell yeah, man. That's fantastic. 36 thumbs up. We can do a little better than that. So everybody, just locate the like and dislike button. Hover over the like. And if it's not darker color highlighted, you're going to press it in 3, 2, 1. Hit the like now. Hit the like now. There you go. Now we got it. Thank you. See, it's coming to fruition. It's working. There you go. That's what we're talking about. 40 likes. That's what we're like. What's on Chris Rock's face right there? Oh, it's Fresh Prince. Boom.
I wonder when when Will made contact if Chris Rock experienced the Coriolis.
Chris Rock in the background looking at the phone like, yeah, but that was playing. No, that wasn't playing. He was pissed off. Here, really? I saw some guy put up a sketch really quick. He, like Chris Rock looking at the phone. They said like, no, dude, he actually slapped you for real. He said, really? Well, I'm gonna get you, motherfucker. Come on. Like he was like acting pissed off. Jada! Just calling. I gotta get somebody. I gotta get a payback. Funny stuff. We're probably gonna get the traffic, the daily traffic of the Bev tarts. They're coming in over here with snowflakery and drama instigation. There you go. Kyle Wilson say that I seem upset for getting 36 thumbs up. I only been able to get 2 of mine up at a time. Hey, it happens there. It's Kyle Wilson. It's all good, man. It's not upset. It's just try to keep it more dynamic and interactive, man. That's how we do. It's Kyle. Hey, Kyle, dude, that's fantastic, Kyle. You got 4 subscribers and 20 plus views. That's like freaking, I don't know, 400% up of your viewers, you know? What, more? Yeah, I don't know about math. I'm math illiterate. Look, you got a subscriber now, and I hit the bell icon. You better start putting videos up, Kyle, now, because I said so.
That's a lot of views for only 2 videos.
I know. That's a lot of views for 4 subscribers. Fucking hey, yeah. Shout out to you. Welcome to the show, man. Good looking out. See, that's how you shield your channel. Okay. It went up quick, man. I'm up in 1,060 subscribers now. Hell yeah. Not bad. It's great. Halfway to what I was, almost a little over halfway from what I was before. This type of format doesn't go viral and doesn't grow up gigantically, you know? Like open panels and open hangouts like this. So yeah. Maybe I'll do a new channel, and I do just clickbait channels that's talking about what's trendy and being goofy about it. Just doing a lot of cuts and editing. Maybe it works out.
What clickbaity title like what? Like the moon is full of helium and that's why it floats.
No, like this today. Like, Chris Rock's private, you know, Chris Rock first interview after being slapped, you know, like just recorded from, you know, he calling his wife, recorded or whatever, like hidden camera recording Chris Rock, like you know, wiping his face and shit.
I wasn't expecting it. Well,
and just, I don't know, just talk about it, just play the video and say like, yeah, no, just wait there because I got the video right here. And then at the end, I just never showed it. I just keep talking, telling people to wait for it. I got it right here on hand. And then I go like, yeah, oh shit, I gotta go. See you later, guys. Boom, hang up, you know. Every time I say I got something special that never anybody's seen, and then at the end I gotta leave because of emergencies, you know. And then come the other day with a different topic.
Well, if you labeled your channel comedy, yeah. Like Orphan Red's was.
Wait, Orphan Red channel was comedy?
I swear to God, it was nobody. I've told people this before, but I swear to God, that's what it was originally labeled as comedy. And her first,
I gotta step away from
videos proved it. Her first video, I recorded it. Like took a screenshot. It was called Comedy, and like her first videos was like dressed up as a nurse, saying ridiculous things, like but with a straight face. So yeah, it's like Poe alert. But yeah, as long as you listed your channel as comedy, yeah, put up, yeah, or maybe you wouldn't if you were really trying to troll. You say just in, he was just arrested. Here's the police footage, and you just like get some random police footage, right? And like you can never show it. It's his face. I hope Farmers is okay. Are we on? Hello?
Yeah, I think we're still on.
I've got I got it right here.
I just got here. What's going on here? Why do we have a hot mic? What's going on?
That's the best we could come up with to replace the dead air, Jose.
Really? There's a bunch of people here. I mean, damn, you got Gary Werbenga here.
Okay.
Shit.
They weren't talking, though.
All right. I have to step away.
We should ask Gary about the moon.
Oh my God. I'd like to know if Stingray has pulled his finger out his arse yet and actually provided with some visuals.
Stingray is not unavailable right now.
God.
I'm getting close to wrap it up because I got some groceries and I gotta do the cooking today. So
The shops are closed. Jose, it's almost 7:30.
it was a good show, decent show today. See, again, it was good to have you, Chunji, man. Don't be a stranger, bro. Come back every once in a while.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I'm trying to do the daily on Saturdays. I'm not doing it every Saturday, but every other Saturday or something. But I'm usually here, Monday to Friday and Sunday sometimes.
Yeah, I'll definitely stop in. Definitely stop in a lot more.
Maybe a random week I do a night show. You know, I did it like 2 weeks ago. It was good,
man. Sean, are you doing shows and stuff again?
Not yet. I am getting ready to. I'm kind of getting everything set up with the internet and all that. I'm going to be doing some like just recorded conversation over on my Discord over at the bunker. But probably the next couple months, that's the plan though. I'd like to start streaming again.
Yeah.
What's your? Do you have a? What's the name of your server?
It's the bunker. I'll see if I can I'll put a link in the chat. I gotta get to mine first.
No, Seanji, the camera. Look, do you know that I got the frogs in? I don't know. You probably have seen the frogs.
I haven't seen the frogs yet. First time.
Well, we got the frogs. They populate Squeaky Earth. You have seen Squeaky Earth.
Yeah.
So they are populated. I found this guy lost, and I had to adopt him because he got a lazy eye. You know, it's kind of made me feel bad. So he can monitor the two computers. He can monitor this laptop right here. I got a laptop right here, and he can monitor this one right here. So he's keeping an eye on. But then she came in behind him and she got a baby, and they are like family. So she said, "Where's my husband?" They have kidnapped him. So I took him. Now they are living inside the Squeaky Earth. They are the Squeaky Earth. And then I got a mini Squeaky Earth. But this one doesn't squeak, it just rumbles. Kind of rumbles. This one is a big solid pile of rust. Look at that. How rusty.
Jeez.
It looked cool from far away, but look at that. It's like the pieces just fall, you know, it's just destroying pieces. It's cool. It looks good in the background. And then we got the mini globe. It got scraped because I put it inside here, and when I got it out, it ripped a few places and it got a few scrapes, but unfortunately it got Puerto Rico paid kind of the worst of it. It got scraped out of the map. So Puerto Rico is not anymore in this mini globe Earth. Oh well. Life must go on, you know? It is what it is.
You can't see it from the moon.
Yeah, you can see it. You don't see if Puerto Rico is there or not from the moon, so it's okay.
Yeah. She's fine.
And the last, they actually did. They like the ride because this is kind of a fun ride when they do the squeak inside the Squeaky Earth. Sometimes this guy he just stick the heads out and just almost decapitates here. So be careful with the sound. It's gonna be loud. Oh, the leg. There you go. See, isn't that some fantastic stuff? That's great, man. It works like a charm all the time.
This is refuse to use WD-40, huh, Jose?
Refuse it, man. That's the beauty. The sound is what it is. What makes it special. Yeah, indeed.
Hey, Sean, if you want to have like a live stream with a drunken Scotsman, I know a guy, and I could sort that out.
Well, I'd have you. Can you have that guy translate for you? Because that's the only real problem that I would have. I need someone to translate for you.
That would only make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, fucking couldn't you?
Yeah, but I was saying with the server, I'll do some like I said earlier. I did a couple of recordings where I just throw some announcements that I'm going to be doing something at a certain time on my server. That's what I'll be doing for now, because uploading is a lot easier than being streaming live through YouTube with what I have. So join the bunker and you'll see announcements, and then Jose, I'll let people know in here as well when I'm going to do stuff like that.
Cool, man.
But like I said, Barney was there a few days ago, and like I said, when I do start live streaming, I'm going to campaign as much as I can to have Barney part of it, be part of that live stream. So hopefully very soon I'll be back on Maybe not as much as you, Jose, but I do miss it. Do miss having the panels and everything. So definitely
that's a good.
Get back into it.
There's a group. I mean, when there's a point in the shows that we all have that rant, that the emotional rant, like the very truth, your own opinion, and that's the beauty of it. I don't think today. I probably earlier, I probably did my 1 minute monologue, kind of just out of my lungs, like because of this or that, I was smacking the table and shit. So I look forward for those moments, man. Always.
Yeah, that's one of the big things you miss. Where you just it's like, and that was why I started live streaming, because like I'm very long winded. I talk a lot, and it gave me a spot where I could just rant anytime I want, and I love doing it. I mean, I'm not sure if you remember, Jose, but I mean, there were times where like no one showed up on the panel, and it was like, all right, time to rant for an hour straight.
Yeah, that's it, man. And everybody check it out. The link is in the YouTube, and all the videos, always the YouTube replay is available. So for those watching recorded, open the live chat and check on the chat box that the link is on there for the Chonji's Discord, and it's also in the Daily Boom Discord server. Good times, man. Let's get out of here. Do a round of final thoughts and wrap it up for the day. It was slightly shorter. I mean, it's almost 3 hours anyway. 2 hours and a half is good enough. It wasn't shouting. It wasn't any emotions. It wasn't any crybabies and snowflakes in the chat box. So it was great, man. I like it. Okay, tomorrow, everything goes well. Roughly noon my time, which is like 2.5 hours previous to now. Like around this, a little earlier than now. We'll do a show tomorrow. And we'll do cults, about cults. I got a clip from him. I'll play that in the top of the show, and then we'll open the panel for our thoughts and analyze cult behaviors. Okay, final thoughts. How about you, Blue Marble Science?
Yeah, I'm dealing with Rocky in the chat right now, so have a good day, guys.
Thank you. Hello, Bob. I'm new. Are you new? Thank you. Bro Walim, final thoughts. John Watson. But the faster the show ends. C4, final thoughts. Dr. Bob of the Gate, you got any message for the YouTube audience listening, even if you don't know what we spoke about today?
Well, based on the title, no, you cannot see the moon landing sites from Earth with any telescope. You can see the area where they are, but you can't physically see the moon landing sites. They're too small. My telescope can see things that are 2 kilometers wide on the moon, but I can't see anything smaller than that. Certainly not 50 meters.
Very well said. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Okay, I'm back.
All right, man.
Sorry, I had to go back just for a second. Right when I had to go, I knew it. But yeah, good show. Thanks. See you on the other channels. See you on the flip side. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. Watson.
Yeah, but shit, I had something so important to say. No, I didn't. Of course I didn't. Thanks for the show, Jose. It was nice actually having a chat, and thanks very much. That's it. Cheers.
Thank you. Earth is Live. You've been listening to final thoughts, man. All right, let's get Gotti. Left lane, final thoughts. Sean G.
I think I already did the link puking. So good show, Jose. Good to see you're back on and going strong. And I'll definitely jump in some more.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Sean Smith.
Hey, Jose. Good show today. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. I actually have a guy that might, pop on there if I can get in touch with him. He has some experience with cults, so I think it'd be a good addition to talk to. But I just wanted to say that the Earth is beautiful, and like and subscribe, people. That's all I got.
Thank you, Sean. And that would be cool, man. Having somebody a different voice, somebody that don't usually, engage in these random weird flat earth discussions. But tomorrow is be hopefully more specific into that. And yeah, if you get a contact you, Sean, and anybody else, if you know about somebody that have been in a cult or know about the topic, tell them to come over and we'll do a nice open panel, mellow in the down low, and we'll break it down. Try to understand better the whole shenanigans about cults tomorrow. That'll be excellent. Nestle Wipes. You got some final thoughts for us, huh? You've been listening for a bit. Welcome to stay, everybody, over here in the call. As for the show, will be ended on the YouTube universe. Thank you very much. Now, one person just joined. 2 people. We're gonna give you the last chance. Final thoughts for anybody that haven't said something and want to say your goodbyes to YouTube. Everybody in the audience, thank you very much for your support. Thank you for hitting the like on this video. Thank you for playing trolling responsibly in the chat box. Leave a comment in the comment section and let us know your thoughts. The first comment typed in the YouTube comment section in this video will be pinned if it's YouTube friendly and if it's not a repetition from a different comment, from if it's not a repetition repeated comment from a previous video. So if it's not a spam comment and if it's YouTube friendly, type a comment in the comment section. Let us know your thoughts. We'll pin it for everybody to go check it out. Thank you very much, everybody over here in the panel that was here and had to leave. And thank you all for you guys still hanging in here. The link of the Discord is in the description box, along with a PayPal link for those who want to support. Click on those links, check it out. And I'll see you tomorrow. Jose JG out. Did I say boom? Well, boom.